Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, man. I had to literally take a few days away after that game because not only the game, but I kind of got disrespected on my channel too, and I didn't appreciate that from a few people. And I'm pretty sure they're not people that are main subscribers. So, but I did lose a couple of subscribers though. But it is what it is though, because I'm all about quality more than I am quantity. I already told you guys about that. But I tell people before, if you don't like my content, you ain't got to look at my ugly face. I've said that many times before. But again, I had to step away from it a minute because you know I was clearly upset about the loss because, just like any of you guys are that are real fans of this team, knows that it's hard to be a Cowboy fan. We've had many years of either not going to the playoffs or going to the playoffs being one and done or going to the playoffs, getting to the divisional round, then being done. We've talked about how long it's been since we got into a championship title game. And I thought this year we were at least going to get to the NFC title game. I thought at least. Funny thing is, had we won that game against 49ers, we would have been playing against the Packers anyway, and who knows what would have happened in that game. We the way we played against 49ers wasn't no way in hell we was going to beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So, I guess it's kind of good that we got out because we don't know how to play against playoff caliber teams apparently. Um, our season's been like that. Although we did end the season 12-5 this year with the extra game, it still felt like it was an up and down roller coaster of a year. You started off strong, then you had a patch in the middle where you lost three straight, and although they were AFC teams, they were still playoff caliber teams. It's almost like the talking heads were right about our team. It's like, okay, we can't do this. We get here, we choke, blah, blah. So I just want to, now that I'm calmed down a lot now, I can speak understandably about things now. I got to go back and look at the game and just figure some things out, right? As far as how this team is and what we need to do going forward. Um, I hear a lot of stuff. Everybody's saying, "Oh, fire McCarthy," but nobody's saying anything about Kellen Moore. Now, for those of you, and one thing, I've never changed my stance. My stance has always been the same when it comes to what I felt about this team, about players, about coaches, whatever. Do I think that Kellen Moore can be a better offensive coordinator at some point? Yes, I do. But the boy wonder, he's affectionately coined, didn't do the right things to get the Cowboys pumped and ready for this playoff game. Now, we could talk about everything that happened in the game, right? We could go back and talk about things that happened during the season. Now, Kellen did do a lot of research in the off season before this season. That's why we came out strong, because he had a lot of stuff in his bag. He did a lot of research. He looked at different plays that he wanted to utilize with this offense and things of that nature, and he utilized it. It was like the Energizer Bunny. You used up all your energy, you used up all your coins, you used up all your little Pokemon, and now at the end of the season, you don't got no more tricks in your bag. So by the time you get to playoffs, it's like nothing. We fell flat in that 49er game, period. We can blame the refs all we want. We can say this, that, and the third. Yes, the refs do their thing. But at the same time, the game should have never got to the point where the refs made a difference in the game, understandably, right? Um, we started that game off very weak. Our first drive, right? So we win the coin toss. We deferred to them. I understand why they deferred it. I know a lot of people was like, "Oh, well, why did we defer? We should have went in there and punched them in the mouth." I agree with that too, but I also agree with the notion of them deferring it because they wanted to get that extra They believe that our defense was good enough to stop them on the first drive. Then we can score and blah blah blah. Then we'll get an extra possession after halftime. That's what the thinking was there, and I get that. I'm not mad at that. But what I'm mad about is you were not prepared for a fucking playoff game. Now, Dak Prescott played a bad game. Yes, he did. The offensive line played a bad game. Everybody played bad. It wasn't just Dak Prescott. Now, Dak Prescott, he knows that he has to play better. He's getting paid that money now, so it's not like he's not that fourth round draft pick anymore. He is the franchise quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And whether you like Dak Prescott or not, he's going to be here. But what they need to do is they need to utilize the weapons that he has around him and utilize it. We have Ferraris in the garage and don't use them. I'm going to explain what I mean by that in a second. Now, the issue that I have with Kellen Moore, I know everybody is like, oh, well, fire Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is not calling the plays. And the reason why he didn't take over the play calling, because Jerry Jones said to Mike McCarthy, I don't know if you guys remember this, when Mike McCarthy got hired during that COVID time, that 2020 season, he was told by the front office that Kellen Moore needs to call the plays. We want him to call the plays because Mike McCarthy wanted to control everything. When he came in here, he wanted to do just like he did with the Packers. He called the plays with the Packers. He should have done it here. But Jerry and the staff decided they wanted to let Boy Wonder be the helm at that. You basically gave an inexperienced driver the keys to a Ferrari, and he crashed that son of a bitch into the playoffs. That's what he did. Now, do I dislike Kellen Moore? No, not by any accounts. Do I understand why they did what they did? Yes, I understand it. Do you guys, the fan base, understand why? No, maybe not. But I know you guys don't give a fuck because I know that y'all, and this is what y'all been telling me all the time, and I hear you. Oh, we don't have time for a young guy to learn. We need to win now. I understand that. But we ain't won nothing in 25 years. So what's another 26, 27, 28, 30 fucking years? You're either going to be a Cowboy fan or you're not. I've had people come in here in the chat say, oh, well, I'm not going to be a Cowboy fan no more. Okay, well, that's on you. If you don't want to root for this team no more, you don't have to. If you don't want to follow the channel no more, you don't have to. But the people that came in here calling me out my name and criticizing me, that's a no-go because I don't play that shit. And at the end of the day, you're not anybody that I want to follow me anyway if you're going to come at me like that, because I don't come at any of you like that. I don't disrespect any of you subscribers like that. I don't. I value everybody's opinion. I can't tell you what to feel or what not to feel. I'm going to tell you my piece, and it is what it is. You tell me your piece in the chat, and we can have a conversation about it. But there should be no calling nobody out their fucking name, period. I don't play that on this channel. You go to some other channels with that crap. I don't do all of that. I don't do all that negativity over here. We keep it positive over here. And I've been saying that for a long time. Now, I'm on my pedestal on this video because I had time to think, and I'm just disappointed. Just like everybody else is. But at the same time, don't come over here disrespecting me, period. Because I don't play that. Now, back to what I was saying. If you want to get rid of anybody, you could say, oh, well, we could get rid of Kellen Moore. He's been interviewing for so many positions. Okay, go be a head coach somewhere. But the problem is, if you're not doing well as an offensive coordinator, how are you going to be a good head coach? Because being at that level is way different than being here. Because as an offensive coordinator, you're just controlling this little point of the team. When you're a head coach, you're controlling everybody on the roster and pretty much everything that goes on. This is why everybody that criticized Mike McCarthy, I just be scratching my head because I'm like, y'all don't even know what Mike McCarthy actually does. Because most of the stuff that he does impacts the team. He implements his game plan during the week. He allows his assistant coaches and coordinators to control the game on game day. Just like when Jerry told him, hey, do you need him to um, we want Boy Wonder to call the plays. Okay. So Mike McCarthy's not taking over the play card sheet because he didn't do that at all this season. So what they need to do next year, they need to reevaluate what they're going to do and decide whether they want Kellen Moore to continue calling players or they want to let him walk and go somewhere else, or do they want to tell him in the offseason, like, look, you got to be more prepared for this. We were not prepared for this playoff game, period. The way we came in that game flat like that is absolutely ridiculous. The 49ers did not throw anything at us that we didn't know that they were going to do. They were literally playing cover two with a simple base package and them rushing their four guys. That's all they were doing. And then when Bosa went out, they still were providing pressure on us with Eric Armstead and company, even when Bosa left the game, which is ridiculous. Our offensive line was playing like they weren't ready. Tyron Smith didn't have a great game. Lyle Collins getting called on penalties. Both Connor Williams and Tyler Biadasz was like turnstiles. It was like Dak didn't have a chance to even get the fucking ball off. Look at the first drive of the game. 3 and out, just like that. Because they got in our ass early and often. And ain't no pause on that because that's for real. They did. They made us look simple. With all this talent that we have on this team, there is no way you come in that game playing like that. We had no reason losing that game. 49ers gave us every option to come back. Remember when they roughed the kicker? We had an extra fucking chance with the ball. Still didn't score a touchdown. Because Kellen Moore calling these goddamn plays. See what it is when he calls the play, Dak has, if he audibles out, he only has 1 or 2 other plays to audible out to. Dak is doing what he's given. Now, I think that, I don't know how much control Dak has over the offense, but it don't seem like a whole lot because I feel like if he was out there doing his own thing like Tony Romo did, I don't know. But the offensive line wasn't holding up. Defensive linemen coming untouched. You notice that George Kittle only got 1 or 2 passes in the game, right? And I'm going to tell you why. It was schemed that way. You know why? Because they knew that we had a dynamic linebacker like Micah Parsons. So you know what they did? They told George Kittle, they went to the side. I'm like, look here, George. So this game, you're not going to be getting the ball a lot in the pass game. We want you to block. Where is he from? Utah, whatever school he went to? He learned how to block. He's a blocking tight end that can catch the ball as well. He's a dual threat. That's why he's one of the best tight ends in the league right now. Because he can do both. They were literally, we're not telling you to block out Michael Parsons, just get in his way, slow him down. And that's what they did. They literally went in there, used him as a blocker so they could get their run game. We were missing tackles like a motherfucker. They were bouncing off of our defensive guys like they was in a damn pinball machine. And they were getting extra plus bonus yardage off of bouncing off of Deebo Samuel bounced off of us, broke 3 tackles to the end zone. What the fuck? Why couldn't we do that? Every time that we ran the ball, first person hit us down. We down. I think Tony Pollard had 41 yards. What the fuck? I said, if you were going to win this game, you got to run the damn ball. Because what did I say before the game, in my video before the game? Go back and look at it. I said one of the keys to victory was they're going to load the box if you run the ball effectively. And once they load the box, After you're running the ball efficiently, then you can pull back and start gunslinging the ball downfield. Um, to basically release the pressure off of your wide receivers so they can be open more. Dak's running around trying to find somebody open, but ain't nobody open. You know why? Because they're not rushing, they're not loading the box because we ain't running. There was no threat of us running the ball at all for them. That's how you got your ass whooped. And this is before the refs. So we can sit here and we can blame the refs all we want to, but at the end of the day, we tore our own ass. And it is the Cowboys' fault. It's the players' fault. It's the coaching staff's fault. They just were not ready. This team is arrogant as fuck. We got a bunch of young players, and we need a leader in that locker room to go in there and be like, yo, we can't be coming in these games arrogant and thinking that, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Okay. They've been blaming the refs all year for every game. After every game, they openly did that. And I said, we got to stop openly doing that, because when we openly do that, the refs like, oh, that's how y'all feel? Oh, wait till I ref you again. They're going to make it even worse for you. So it's not like it's going to get better. So you have to do better by just not getting penalties called on you. Like the Randy Gregory one, where he was tangled up with the offensive line and he was bringing them down like he was tackling them. What the hell was that for? So I'm sorry this video is long. I just had to get this out because it was just on my mental. So as far as going forward into this offseason, we'll talk more about that, what we need. And for that, everybody's saying that Dan Quinn is for sure going to leave this team. I don't know that. I'm not going to say that he is. I know that a lot of teams want him. But do we know that he really wants to go? Does he want to go? I know these players don't want him to go. I know me personally, I don't want Dan Quinn to go. If any of the coaching staff that I want still on this team is definitely Dan Quinn. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. You know, it's going to be a long-ass offseason, y'all. I'm so sorry, Cowboys Nation. I feel bad for y'all just as much as I feel bad for myself. I'm hurting just as much as you guys are right now. But we have to be smart. And we have to understand that at some point we'll get out of this mediocrity. I just, you know, it's hard to pinpoint what the exact issues are, but I know that with this offense primarily, because the defense did enough for us to win the game. Outside of them missing some tackles and stuff like that, they still did enough for us to win the game. It's our offense that didn't put up in this game. We have to do better all around. We have to stop dropping the ball. Dak's got to get to the open receivers more accurately. Offensive line has to hold up. If you got to draft offensive lineman next year, do so. And you can't get rid of, sir, I know some of you guys talking about you want to get rid of some of these players. Well, some of them have contracts that won't allow that to happen. So you're going to be stuck with them until their contract is expired. That's just how that goes. Because you don't want a $30 million cap hit, because you won't be able to get nobody in free agency. Nor will you be able to sign your draft class for next year. So as the offseason goes along, we'll be talking more about the draft. I haven't even looked at anybody coming in the draft. I don't know anything going on right now, because I'm just still in this whole, like, I can't believe my team ain't getting a chance to go to the Super Bowl now because we done fucked it up. So yet another year of disappointment. But guess what? I'm diehard. I'm not leaving. I will still rep the Cowboys. I know some of you guys said in the chat that y'all not going to rep no more. Hey, if that's what y'all want to do, okay, that's cool. I'm still going to be here doing videos. I'm still going to be here rooting for our Cowboys. And when you're a fan, you're a fan. And sometimes being a fan, you don't choose it. It chooses you. And the Cowboys chose me, and this is where I'm at. I'm a fan of this team for the rest of my life. I will not be a fan of anybody else. So with that being said, y'all, please, can we get some positivity in the chat? No more of the bullshit before, because I'm going to start blocking people. Please, no disrespect. Especially, don't disrespect me, because if you saw me in person, you definitely wouldn't do that in my face. With that being said, it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon.